Hi YouTube, it's Maya from My Legal Career. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've had a crazy few months and I've actually just sat my company law exam. So I thought what a perfect time to film a new YouTube video. I pick up my next module on Monday. So I've got a couple of days to, I suppose, relax, but it's literally like 2 days. So yeah, I thought I would film a Q&A because I haven't done one yet on my YouTube channel. I've done a couple on my Instagram, but I wanted to actually sit down and film one. So I asked for some questions. I said it can be related to anything: personal life, work life, uni, but pretty much I think all of them are related to the legal apprenticeship, which makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to pick a few and answer your questions. Okay, first question: what would you be if you weren't a lawyer? I've been asked this before. I think I would go down the path of something like medicine. I don't know if I could do it, number one. And number two, it seems like I'm just infatuated with impossible careers, or careers that require a lot of hard work and years and years and years of dedication. You can become any kind of, I suppose in this case, doctor, as you can with a lawyer, and work your way up and find your niche. There's so much to learn. I think I really enjoy the concept of not knowing everything and learning constantly. So probably medicine. If not, maybe finance, something like that is quite interesting. I do a lot of financial claims at the moment, and I find that really interesting. So maybe I'd be a finance bro, who knows? Your favourite topic to study in your uni work? I have a lot of very unpopular opinions when it comes to the topics that I've enjoyed at university. The first one being public law. Hardly anyone likes public law. I don't know why I loved it so much. It's one of my highest marks. And then the other one, really quite strangely, was EU law. I don't know why I enjoyed it. Maybe just because I got a good mark in it. Maybe the good mark is because I enjoyed it. Who knows? Obviously I love criminal and tort and all those things, but yeah, I weirdly enjoy the dry subjects. How was your company law exam? Thank you so much for asking. Company law was actually a really interesting topic in that when I started it, I absolutely hated it. I found it really boring, really dry, and there was just so much to the topic. Like, there's so much content to learn. But when it came to revising for the exam, I quickly realised that actually I did really enjoy it. I think because with company law, I found that it all ties up together at the end. You learn different things within the different weeks. And then at the end, when I was doing my own independent revision, I kind of tied it all together and created a bigger picture and was able to go through, for example, the practicalities of a company issuing new shares and able to advise the practical next steps. And I really enjoyed it. I did a lot of preparation and I don't feel like I could have done much more. So that's always a perfect way to feel after an exam. Thank you for asking. Also, if you don't already, follow me on Instagram because I literally talk all about the exams when I sit them and the topics that I'm taking. How is the university that you go to selected? So that's a really good question, and it's quite different when it comes to apprenticeships. You don't get a choice. It completely depends on the education provider that the firm decides to pair up with. So I really like this question. It's very different. Full-time influencer or lawyer? If you could do one, which would you do? Both paid the exact same. They're both completely different, which is, it's quite an odd question to think about. I would not give up my career in law to become an influencer, even though they were both paid the same. And to be honest, quite arguably, if you had a large platform on Instagram, you could probably get paid a little bit more than a lawyer would. I don't know. I do have some plans in the works. Like, I'm thinking of certain projects that I want to launch and work on in relation to my legal career. So I suppose that's kind of like a bit of a passion side hustle project thing. But my career is definitely my main focus as a lawyer and always has been. How do you interact with your boss and show them your capability? This is a really good question. So for me, I am sat within one team for the first 4 years before I could complete seat rotations in my last 2. And so I suppose having one manager throughout the first 4 years makes it a lot easier in terms of settling down and having weekly meetings with your manager. That's something I really recommend. My manager is a partner and he's a very busy man, but he will always make time for me if I need it. I feel like as the years have gone on, he's trusted me more and more to kind of get on with my work. If I have any queries, then he's the first person I go to. He will handle anything that I throw at him. He's absolutely brilliant. I think it's only through the actual production of work and the tasks that I do and making sure I do them to the highest value possible. I think that is the only thing really that can show capability. I mean, obviously you can have discussions with managers and fee earners if you'd like to be pushed more. Obviously in terms of that, if you are feeling that you need to be challenged more, then definitely raise it. But in terms of showing that you're capable, I think the only thing you can do is just do the work to the best of your ability. And I think naturally once you do that, I have personally found that the work develops and grows and your responsibility grows, and then it kind of is a snowball. So I think it just comes naturally and comes with time. But in terms of keeping up with your manager, I think weekly one-to-ones as an apprentice are very important. Are you planning on remaining in litigation when you qualify? Yes, 100%. So although I haven't done my seat rotations just yet, I have done an in-house secondment. With that, I did a lot of non-contentious work. Just really enjoy the hustle and bustle of litigation, dealing with the courts, going through the whole claims process and defending clients. It's very, very strategic, and I think that's something I absolutely love. You can have a case that you're battling with for, we had one we were battling for about 12 years, solely in relation to a procedural issue, and eventually it wasn't until past the 12-year mark that we had to actually finally look into the facts of the case, because we'd been battling on a sole procedural ground for so long that could have got the claim kicked out, but it didn't. And I just think that's absolutely so fascinating. There's so many different pathways with litigation. Obviously it's a big umbrella as well, so it covers lots of subsections underneath that. So yeah, I think I'm a litigator. We'll see on seat rotations. I'll give you an update. You can obviously follow along, and we'll see whether I change my mind. Maybe I'll go into corporate commercial, who knows. We'll see. What made you realise that you didn't want to go to uni, and when did you realise this? I think, in all honesty, I never really wanted to go. I never really had a burning desire to go to university. I think it was just expected of me, and especially expected given that it was the only way I knew how to qualify as a lawyer. Obviously do a 3 years degree, 1 year LPC, and then the 2-year training contract. Obviously once I heard about the apprenticeship, I jumped on the chance, and I think that tells you everything. Like, that tells you how much I really wasn't bothered about going to university. I was only keen on qualifying and training as a lawyer. I didn't really care how, you know, the means it took me to get there. I just don't really think the lifestyle's for me. I don't think I would have enjoyed it personally. And I remember there was one point in second year of college where, you know, everyone in my year was kind of worrying about getting into uni, but in all, you know, for all the wrong reasons. A lot of people were applying to universities that were quite poorly ranked and applying to just any old course that they could get onto just to say that they were going to university, rather than kind of sitting down and thinking about what they want to do or taking time to think about where they want their career to go. I think at that point I kind of realised that the system was like almost broken. I think people were just going to university for the sake of it rather than actually going in order to pursue a career. University wasn't for me, and I never have actually regretted my decision, so I definitely made the right one. I really want to touch on this subject. Does being a content creator affect you in the workplace for law? Personally, and I think this is a very personal question, everyone has completely different experiences. All the legal Instagrams that you talk to will tell you something different, but me personally, absolutely not. I'm very lucky that the firm are really supportive of my channels actually, and I've even filmed like an office tour in our Bristol office before. It's really nice to be trusted, and I suppose there's two ways to look at this question. It's, does it affect me personally in my work day-to-day life, and does it affect me in terms of the firm knowing about my channels? My channels and my Instagram, they're all my own thoughts and opinions, and I'm not, you know, an official firm account or anything. But in terms of me personally and my work, I don't know if all of my colleagues know about my channels, and it's really awkward to bring up. I think a lot of them have like slowly discovered it. It's just not something I talk about, and to be honest, I like it that way. I really don't want people's perceptions on me via my channels to affect my work or affect the trust that they give me with my work. And I think when you're creating content like a lot of us legal Instagrammers are, you have to be very, very mindful and very careful, and you know, it's not an easy thing. I'm constantly keeping in mind the regulations and the obligations that we are under as lawyers or as professionals. For example, keeping all client information confidential is super, super important. And yeah, I'd be lying if I said it doesn't scare me that, you know, lawyers are so heavily regulated, and then going to do something like content creation on being a lawyer, like, it's so scary, because one mistake and you could ruin practically your whole career. I feel like I've been a junior now for 4 to 5 years, and I think it's a long enough time to appreciate what you can show and what you can't show, what's inappropriate and what isn't appropriate. The rewards highly outweigh the anxiety, so yeah, that's those are my thoughts on that. Thank you so much for watching. I do Q&As quite often on my Instagram, so make sure you follow me over on there, and I will definitely be answering some more in the future, and maybe I'll bring out another Q&A video on my YouTube channel. But I hope you found it interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.